This upcoming trip to the moon could determine the future of NASA, depending on whether or not SpaceX meets their deadline. I think most people assume that NASA and SpaceX are competitors that have nothing to do with each other, but they do work together. And if one fails, it could mean the failure of the other. The Artemis program is a series of missions to put people on the moon full time, not only to establish a research facility, but hopefully to establish a kind of pit stop for fuel and supplies for missions to Mars. NASA is aiming to launch Artemis 2 this February. They won't be landing on the moon, but they will be orbiting it to test new craft and technology, since they will be the first humans to go to the moon in over 50 years. The transportation comes in a few different parts. First, the SLS, which is the rocket that carries the astronauts into space. Next is Orion, which is the craft that houses the astronauts and brings them to the moon, both of which have been handled by NASA and its contractors like Boeing and Lockheed Martin. The real question is landing on the moon, which is SpaceX's job. They're supposed to provide the human landing system, which is a lander that will launch before the astronauts wait for them in orbit and then bring them to the surface. The hurdle here is a refueling test in Earth's orbit. This is where SpaceX needs to prove that one of their starships can transfer fuel to another, because it takes a lot of fuel to do a round trip like this, and one ship can only launch with so much fuel. Unfortunately, SpaceX has had a few issues, from engine failure to explosions, which has pushed the schedule back. If they fail to meet the deadline, Artemis 3, which is the mission meant to land on the moon, could be pushed back another year or more, which causes even more tension between NASA and the White House. Luckily, there is some time, and Artemis 2 will still happen regardless of where SpaceX is in testing, but they do need to all be on the same page soon, or nobody's going anywhere.